Whenever you watch an anime, there's always a character that's not necessarily the protagonist, but still manages to give off that same type of energy. Now, some of these characters could be Deuteragonists, but others could be teachers, love interests, comic relief, and so on. So instead of glazing the main characters of anime, I wanted to appreciate the side characters.
What do you mean by that?
And since I end up usually having a side character in any series become my favorite character of that series, it only makes sense that I make this video. I'm not saying that all main characters get outshined by their side characters, because that's the furthest thing from the truth. I'm just here to show love to the side characters of anime. So without further ado, let's get into it. As I mentioned earlier, there are definitely different types of side characters in fiction as a whole, let alone anime. But when it comes to this video, I want to talk about 4 types: the Deuteragonist, the Sensei, the love interest, and the side villain. Now I'll explain what I mean by side villain once I get to it. Of course, there are many types, but that would take a lot more video, and I don't got the time.
Well, that's just lazy writing.
Starting off with the Deuteragonist, also known as what I like to say, the co-protagonist. These characters are usually a direct counter personality-wise to the main character. To throw out a few examples, look at Sasuke and Naruto, or look at Killua and Hunter x Hunter. These characters are very important when it comes to how well a story is, in my opinion. As a matter of fact, Hunter x Hunter just happens to be my favorite anime of all time, and a huge reason for that is because of Killua. If it wasn't for his character development and overall impact on the story, Hunter x Hunter wouldn't have been what it is to me today. But then there's characters like Sasuke that are a direct rival to the main character. The way I look at Sasuke as a character in Naruto is not necessarily the main character of the story, but the main character of his own story.
Bars!
Seeing a character go on a journey of revenge to seeing them go on a journey to repent is a perfect way to describe what I mean by that. Of course, not all Deuteragonists are examples like these. Some could be examples of the next few types of side characters I talk about, or some could be like Zoro and be like a right-hand man to the protagonist. That leads me to the Sensei side character. The Sensei side character shows up in a lot of old and new anime. The way I look at these characters is the character that leads the main cast of characters to what they become by the end of the series. Damn, I just said characters a lot. And in most action or shonen anime, the first introduction of these mentor figures are usually used as a scale to how strong the ops actually are. The first example I could think of is the intro to Kakashi in Naruto. On the first real mission of the series, Kakashi represents the strength of a character that is a goal for Team 7 to eventually achieve. And of course, most teacher type characters in anime end up having their strengths surpassed by the end of the series, but they serve the purpose of connecting with the main character or characters of that series by guiding them as well. But in my personal opinion, my favorite part about these characters is the fact that there could be multiple characters that play this type of role in a single series. Like Gojo and Nanami for Yuji, or Wing and Bisky in Hunter x Hunter. Not to mention Jiraiya and Naruto. And trust me, the list goes on. At the end of the day, although these characters might be used to scale strength, they still end up being some of my favorites in all of anime. So I gotta give my respect to them. That brings up our next type of side character, which is the love interest. And what I'm referring to in specific is the main character's love interest. Now these characters could vary based on their relationships to the main character. For example, they could be a character that doesn't reciprocate the same feelings as the main character, or it could be a character that's always admired the main character. And of course, I can't count out the unpredictable love interest too.
Whoa, hey.
Now, I won't lie, some love interests in anime are better than others. I can't tell you how many times I disagreed with the main character because they went after someone that I didn't want to happen. Don't lie, we've all done it. And that's why I believe that the love interest side character is important, because it gives whoever's watching the series a reason to be more locked into it. That isn't all that makes a love interest a key side character in anime, because there are some of the character arcs and journeys that they do go through with the main character that shapes them into being crucial in the story. And even though the love interest isn't my favorite category of side character, if there's not one in an anime, I do end up feeling a little underwhelmed. And last but certainly not least, we have the side villain. Now, my personal definition of what a side villain would be is exactly how it sounds, but to be more blatant, I would describe it as a mini boss in a video game. But don't think that just because these villains aren't the final boss, they aren't some of the best character in their respective series. Some example of notable ones would be Grimmjow from Bleach, Zabuza from Naruto, the Disaster Curses in JJK, and I'm sure there's many others. But even though these characters end up getting defeated early on by the main character or get taken out of the story for some reason, these villains seem to sometimes be even more popular than the main antagonists of the series. A prime example of this for me would be the Upper Moons in Demon Slayer. Even though Muzan is the main antagonist of the story, he's definitely not my favorite antagonist in the series. That's gotta go to Akaza. Sorry, Rengoku.
Well, let's be nice. Let's be nice.
And honestly, these quote-unquote side villains can be the most entertaining characters in anime, period. To be fair though, there's a reason why they aren't the main antagonist. Anyway, that's all I got for this video, and if you guys have some side characters that you appreciate, leave them down in the comments, and until next time, peace.